This is Joe David Cantu from Hispanic News Online. Today I'm bringing you another 30 for 30 for Hispanic Heritage Month interview. We're going to be talking to Lynette Correa. I hope I'm saying this correct, Lynette, but she is going to be on today and giving us a little bit of information on what she's working on. So thank you all for joining us today, and I hope you learn a little bit more about another Latino and Latina that's actually doing something for the community. So Lynette, on that, I want to introduce you. Come on and say hello to everybody.
Yay! Hi. Thank you so much for having me on board. I'm wicked excited.
Oh, you've got that spirit that just makes me want to get up in the morning and go, yes, it's a new day.
Awesome. Well, it's something that's ingrained in me to be extra positive. I definitely see the glass full, half full, but definitely full. I guess it rubs off on people.
Well, good. Hey, Lynette, give me a little bit of background about who you are and where you came from and a little bit of history about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you did say my last name, Ryan, but you forgot the other part of my last name. So my name is Lynette Correa-Velez. I am an education social entrepreneur and founder of Career Coaching for Kidz. Career Coaching for Kidz is a mobile student career coaching social enterprise where we empower our 8th through 12th graders on professional etiquette and career readiness skills through 20 customizable workshops that utilize the experiential learning method. What's amazing about my company is that it's a social enterprise because about 10% of proceeds goes to a Career Coaching for Kids book scholarship fund, as well as, we utilize green materials, so green business cards, green materials during the workshop, for example. And we also do this through organizational partnerships. So anyone that works in nonprofits, for-profits that provide paid or unpaid opportunities to our high school and, older middle school population, as well as schools.
Wow. That's a lot.
Well, so I'm pretty busy.
Well, break it down for me. How does this work with you guys? I mean, tell me how this is set up with give me a little background.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have 20 different career coaching topics. The organizational contact picks, buffet style, what topics they'd like their young people to learn about. So what happens a lot of the time is that organizational contacts are like, we've already done resumes with our students. What else can you offer? Well, we can offer how to write a reference letter, how to write a cover letter, which is just as important, as you and I know as adults, to the application process than a resume. And a lot of the time students think, I just put together the resume if they know about a resume, and that's it. But as you get older, as you know, you need these other tools to be successful. For me, what lights my fire is that, we provide our students, our Latino, Black and Brown, and other students as well, because we empower all sorts of students. But more, I'm very passionate about empowering my Latino Hispanic community, that we empower them with the tools needed to be successful in the workplace. And what hasn't been done is providing our students the tools to not only be successful during the interview process, but to be successful after the interview process, once they've gotten that job, after-school job, internship, etc. And it's hard for them to navigate the murky waters of the workplace and to know what the unspoken rules of the workplace are. I mean, I'm sure you remember when you were younger, what was your first job and how difficult it was to maintain that opportunity and to network and to, unfortunately we don't have, at least when I was growing up, I didn't have the issues of email as much as young people have. I think I just aged myself there, JD, but
that's okay, honey.
That's okay. But the nonverbal communication will always be there, and a lot of students still have yet to grasp professional etiquette in the workplace.
So you've already set up these programs. These are already established, and they can be actually distributed and implemented throughout the country. They just need to get into basically your system. Is that what you're saying to me?
Indeed. Yep, absolutely. So there's definitely the 20 different workshops. What's important to me is that the content is relevant to the audience being served. So information given to an 8th grader will be slightly different, and examples will be different than when I empower a group of high school 12th graders, because their experiences are a little different. Their next steps are a little bit different, right? High school students, especially seniors in high school, are planning to go to college or some sort of trade school or going into the military, right? So they're going to, really take a big leap versus, teaching the basics to the 8th graders.
And okay, is there like a huge need for this? I mean, because a lot of us, or I would imagine there is, because there's a lot of us who are either first generation or have come here and don't have somebody at the house, in the home that they can look up and say, "Hey, Dad, how do I do this?"
Absolutely, and especially a lot of our young people, and especially my parents, they always said, "Mija, tienes que hacer mejor que yo pude hacer," right? Because my own parents didn't have the access to education that I had when in the Boston, Massachusetts area. So students, they always, want to mejorarse. They always want to, be in a better situation to provide for their future family or even to provide to the current family, because a lot of students also have to be co-breadwinners in the household these days. And it's important that they learn these skills because these skills are lifelong skills. The art of knowing how to interview, that's something that's going to happen for the rest of their lives, whether they're an employer or whether they're an employee. And so what's important is that they gain these skills and they also make it their own.
And okay, so somebody implements this for, let's say, an 8th grade class. How do they get it? Do they get it via their computer? Do they get a package? How does it work with you guys?
Yep. So it depends on the needs of the organization. There's several ways that my company has done it. We've done it through Skype coaching. We've done it through webinars. We've done it through teleclasses. I've personally traveled and gone to different schools in the Northeast area, for example. In D.C., there was one charter school system that hired me for several workshops, so I came in once a month for about an hour and a half a month to empower their young people on a Saturday afternoon. And again, the organizational contact picked about 5 different workshop topics for us to customize. And so it just depends on the organization and what they're looking for and having a conversation with me on what we can customize for them.
And, okay, so how long have you been doing this?
12 years.
Wow.
I've been in youth and career development for about 12 years. Career coaching for kids is about 8 years old.
And, well, since you've had so much experience in doing this, can you give me an example of something that you've seen along the way that has even driven you, more to do this? I mean, do you have a story of one of the kids? Because everybody I've talked to, remembers one kid or something that they did a program with, and they go, "You should have just seen their eyes. You just should have seen what they were going to." Do you have one of those stories?
Absolutely. So I remember one time. So about a decade ago, social media wasn't around, right? There was no Facebook, there was no, LinkedIn or Twitter. So I was being old school and career coaching a young person face to face, right? And this young person, his family had a family business, and his family really wanted him to work in the family business, but he was really passionate about the law and being a police officer and potentially being a sergeant one day. So I said, okay, let's put together your application, put together your resume and cover letter, and let's just put your name in for the Boston Bar Association at the summer internship. So we did, and fortunately he got accepted, and that was pretty much it. Several years later, and this was about last year, I received a Facebook message. right? And the message read, and this is not per verbatim, but the message read somewhere along the lines of, Dear Miss Correa, you know, I don't know if you remember me, but my name is so-and-so, and you did this with me for the Boston Bar Association. I wanted to let you know that you helped me realize how much I love being in this field, and now I am going to be a dad. I just got married, and I just graduated from the police academy. Thank you so much for believing in me. Sincerely, his name.
Wow.
And I'm getting a little teary-eyed right now, but this is why we do this, you know. It's not going to be a total immediate return on investment, but depositing that seed of faith and the chance to show to that young person, yes, you know, you can do this. I believe in you. You are amazing. You have a gift to bring to the world. That, to me, that part of career coaching is what my life's purpose is meant to do. And I want to do that not just, you know, in the Northeast, but I want to do that for all young people.
You know, this is one of the things that it's a thread that's going through all the leaders that we're talking to, is that desire. When you started this, tell me a little bit. Did you just start doing this, or did you have another job? I mean, how did you do this? Because most of the people that I've been talking to started most of their projects or most of their stuff while they were doing something else, and they just took this on as an extra thing that either grew or became really part of their lives. Is that the same story with you?
It's kind of similar. So a lot of the times when women become entrepreneurs, it's, you know, it's to thrive or survive, right? And for my story, it started, interestingly enough, and I can probably write a book about this, but my life changed within 3 weeks. And within 3 weeks, I went through disintegration of a relationship. I was laid off from a job because I was part of national reorganization at the time. And then that third week, unfortunately, the doctors had called me to let me know that they suspected that I had a pituitary tumor, and they wanted me to come in for an MRI. And ¿pa qué fue eso? I broke down and cried because that was just an incredible 3 weeks for me at that time, and I was in my mid-20s, and it was just nuts. I mean, I was like, and you know, I have a spiritual foundation as well, and I prayed to God, and I was like, God, my goodness, like, I know you don't give me anything that I can't handle, but this is nuts. So I had a friend of mine who I called, and I asked her to drive me to the MRI because I was really nervous. And on our way over there, I had prayed. And I prayed, and I said, God, you know, if these results are negative for my MRI, I promise to you that I will utilize my life to empower others in some way, especially young people, however that may look like. And went to my appointment. Week later, got the results, and the results were negative. And I looked up, and, you know, I was home when I got the call from the nurse, and she told me the results. And I hung up, and I was like, okay, he, she, it, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, right? But for me, I was like, okay, God, you know, you did your part, then let me do mine. And a few days later, I find that whenever great ideas happen, somehow they always happen in the shower, right? Mm-hmm. And I was taking a shower, and I left, finished, and this vision of these words, career coaching for kids, flashed before my eyes. And so kind of took a hint. I took a piece of paper and a pen. I wrote down the name that I saw in my mind for a business name, and I kind of kept on writing. I wrote the 20 workshops. I wrote the mission right in that same sitting. I mean, it took me like not even an hour to just write and write and write and write and write. And by the time I finished, I looked up and I was like, wow, this is what I'm going to be starting. Less than a few days later, I received a quote-unquote random call from a staffing agency who requested me to come in for an interview for a temp job. at an investment company in the Boston area. And I said, okay. And I would be an executive assistant to a managing director. Long story cut short, interviewed, got hired, stayed on for 3 months. During my time there, I then started meeting a lot of different people. And a lot of the people that would come in would be executive coaches, owners and founders of executive coaching firms. And when they would tell me what they did with these star investment bankers, how they coached these investment bankers, how they coached recent MBA graduates who were, newly minted students and, newly minted employees of this organization, I said, wow, imagine how much more powerful it would be if we empowered our students, our young people, before they had to get coached as an adult. And that solidified my decision in becoming a career coach. I then started Googling because Google started getting popular around 2007. And that's how that came to birth.
Wow, that's an incredible story. So you took some lemons and made some lemonade, huh?
So, limonada.
Limonada. Con la ayuda de Dios, ¿verdad?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's so much more to tell, but I'll leave it at that part.
Wow. So, as you're working, do you see? I mean, you've just told us a story about some of the change that you did on one individual. Are you getting the same kind of response from other people? I mean, is this something that's really helping the Latino community?
Absolutely. I mean, who can they go to get guidance on their careers, on their professionalism, on answering the question, quote unquote, what is it that I want to be when I grow up? And a lot of the times, the students will do whatever it is they thought they wanted to do in high school. And a lot of the times, as you know, finding your own passion and purpose in life is a winding road, right? And that's a good thing, too. So not everybody's path is going to be the same, but if, again, you give them the faith and the belief and the tools and skills necessary to be successful on their path, they will achieve their goals a lot sooner than most adults would.
It's interesting. And I'm liking that you're catching these kids at an early age because, as you're in an early age, you pick up things much quicker and much faster. And that'll not only help them in business later on, but also when they apply for colleges and stuff.
Absolutely. And it translates, professional etiquette and career readiness skills translates into so many different realms of life, right? That it's an important thing to have and to be educated on, and it's even more important to be exposed to that information, have access to that information, because I think that's the biggest hurdle is to have access to the information that is necessary to continue to be successful in their respective career paths and, of course, in their lives.
And that's the whole thing about this, everybody. You've got to have the information, and we're interviewing these people this month just so that you guys can get some people to contact. We always hear that there's not enough Latinos out there as leaders to show our kids the path, and Lynette's just one of those. I mean, she's showing your kids how to get ahead. So with that, Lynette, I'm going to ask you one thing. I want you to be as selfless as possible and just promote yourself, because you know what? I want them to reach out to you and connect with you and be able to say, hey, we'd like to bring that program here. I have a son or a daughter that this information would help tremendously, or a school district or a company, whatever. So how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so several different ways. Definitely through social media. You can find me on Twitter at CC for Kidz. which is C as in cat, C as in cat, the number 4, K as in kangaroo, I as in igloo, D as in dog, Z as in zebra. Same thing for Facebook, CC for Kids. Through email, it is ccforkids@yahoo.com. And through phone, let me pull that up real quick. The number is 217-552-1372. Again, 217-552-1372. And again, with Career Coaching for Kids, we're more than happy to travel, but we also do teleclasses, webinars. I'll be getting on the Udemy social media teaching platform soon. So if you're interested in learning that way, that's fine. I'm a big advocate in being able to empower our young people through how they know and love to learn, right? And a lot of the times it's not through lecturing at them.
Yeah.
Some people are visual learners. Some people are more auditory learners. So Skype coaching, of course, is another avenue. And of course, some people, want to feel your energy. So I'd be more than happy to travel to different schools around the U.S. Or nonprofit organizations or conferences and summits. We've definitely done those. The ones that I've gotten a lot of amazing opportunities to connect with is at the USHLI conference. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's the United States Hispanic Leadership Institute conference that happens every February. And that is such an amazing opportunity to not just as a Latino, Latina, attend that conference, but and as a young Latino, Latina, attend that conference, but as an adult. It's just amazingly powerful, and they always partner with us to do conferences with them and workshops. And I look forward to speaking with your listeners, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to connect with you and to give a little bit of information about my humble company, Career Coaching for Kids. Gracias.
Lynette, with your personality and your friendliness and your openness, I mean, I don't even know Lynette. I've never met her, but she was forwarded to me by somebody else who said you need to reach out to her, and I'm going to tell you that I called her out of the blue, and we connected, and she said, whatever you need, I'm here for you, and so I'm sure that if you guys email her, contact her in any way, she'll reach out and help you guys. Lynette,
absolutely.
Any words of advice you want to give to people out there?
Yes, absolutely. You were born with a gift. You were born with the purpose to fulfill on this earth. You are worthy, and you are amazing. And it would be my honor to be on that path with you. Whether you are young or young at heart, because we also have an adult side to Career Coaching for Kids called Chameleon Career Coaching. It is my belief that you can be who you want to be and make it.
You just said it like a true Latina, man. I feel like I'm sitting at the table with my tia or my and
absolutely.
She's
really
telling me,
mijo,
really you can do it. You can do it. No te mortifiques. Aquí estamos para ti. Te amamos, ¿verdad? So that is exactly how I feel just listening to you. Lynette, I just want to thank you very much for coming on the show.
No, thank you.
And helping, hopefully helping some kids along the way. Please, folks, don't be shy. Yeah, no, thank you. People, don't be shy, por favor. No se hagan de boca chica, como dice how my mom used to say. Ask. We've got these people that are coming onto these podcasts because they want to help. Yes, they have businesses. Yes, they have, but the businesses that they've set up is because they want to help the comunidad. So no se hagan de boca chica, pregúntales, llámanles, send messages, do whatever you want, and they'll come and help you. And they're not only going to help you, they're going to help your children, which is going to help our community, which is going to help the U.S. in the long run. It all
Mhm.
trickles down. So please, folks, listen to these podcasts, reach out to these people. We're going to go ahead and put her information on the right underneath the podcast so that you can reach out to her. Lynette, don't forget to send that to me. Okay, give me all your information.
Okay.
Get people to get a hold of you. And everybody, thank you again for spending about 30 minutes with me today and listening to a new Latina tell us what she's doing for the community. I hope that you join us tomorrow for another podcast, 30 for 30 for Hispanic Heritage Month, and learn about a new Latino or Latina that's doing something good for their community. We've got entrepreneurs, we've got people in the medical field, we've got people in the education field. We're just trying to give you people to look up to connect with, and to grow with. So we're here to ayuda, para la ayuda, and so please reach out. Once again, please remember that don't call them just to be a comadre. Ask them specific questions and they will answer. Lynette, gracias, and we will be talking soon.
Thank you.